How do you speak to yourself? A wise man once said, "The biggest war against us is between our ears." If the enemy can get us to believe that we are powerless or worthless, then he can stop us from partnering with God to bring heaven to earth. It can be so easy just to go along with our thoughts and not really be proactive about what we're thinking. But 2 Corinthians verse 10, chapter 5 tells us to take every thought captive. If you're putting yourself down, telling yourself you're ugly or you're too stupid, then you aren't aligning yourself with what God says about you. And that will ultimately hold you back from becoming everything that God has made you to be. In Matthew 4:4, Jesus tells us that man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. So the question is, what are you feeding yourself with? Lies or the truth? What God says about you or what the world says about you? How do we align ourselves with truth? Well, Philippians 4 verse 8 tells us, whatever is good, whatever is lovely, dwell on such things. And in order to do that, first we need to identify what lies we've been believing, what we have been telling ourselves that isn't good and what isn't lovely. Ask Holy Spirit what lies you have been believing, and then ask Him what truth He has to give to you in its place. For example, I have a lot of ideas all the time, but I can and have struggled to follow them through. Like, I started this YouTube channel when I was about 13, but never properly took it seriously, even though I had so many ideas. And the other day I caught myself thinking, I'm not very good at completing stuff. What if I don't follow through with this idea of becoming a YouTuber and making regular content? And then I had a revelation. Well, if my Father can bring me through to completion, which it says in Philippians 1 verse 6, and I am like my Father because He made me like Him and He makes me like Him every day, then I can also do that. So I made the declaration, I can complete things through to completion just like my Father. And every time I hear that fear coming back of I'm not going to be good at completing this, whether that's with uni work or doing something creative, I remind myself whose I am and who I am. The Bible is also the perfect place to find truth about who you are and whose you are. So when you find Bible verses that really resonate with you or challenge how you view yourself, note them down and make them into truth statements about yourself, because it is living, it is the living word. For example, Genesis 1 verse 26 tells us that God said in the beginning that He made us in His image. So that means that you are beautiful. And 1 Corinthians 2 verse 16 says that we have the mind of Christ, and therefore we can think well and we can make good decisions. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this has blessed you and encourages you to speak about yourself the way that God speaks about you. Stay blessed and keep looking for those moments to find God's truth